So Moody's just downgraded the US government from a AAA rating down to a rating of AA1. This was the first time in over a century that the US did not hold a top tier rating from all three major credit agencies. If you're now asking yourself who's Moody's, the company provides credit ratings and risk assessment services on a wide array of debt obligations and securities globally. Additionally, the company covers corporations, governments, and financial institutions, utilizing in-depth financial analysis and established methodologies. Also, the company assigns ratings that indicate the creditworthiness and potential risk of default to inform investors' decisions. Now, beyond ratings, the company offers research data and analytical tools to assist clients in understanding and managing financial risks across various sectors, emphasizing transparency and integrity in its evaluations. Moving forward, the rationale behind the downgrade primarily points to the increase in government debt and interest payment ratios over the past decade. Moody's anticipate that the federal deficit will continue to widen, reaching nearly 9% of GDP by 2035. Which is a rise of 6.4% recorded in 2024. This increase is expected to be driven by higher interest payments on the debt, escalating entitlement spending, and relatively low revenue generation. Moody's also projects the federal debt burden to rise to approximately 134% of GDP by 2035, compared to 98% back in 2024. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're currently watching and you're not yet subscribed, I would surely appreciate it if you do subscribe and leave me a thumbs up. So in today's video, I will be going over the NASDAQ QQQs, the VIX, SOFI, ticker symbol AAPL, which is Apple, EVgo, followed by ticker symbol SMCI, Super Microcomputer. With that said, let's start things off with the VIX. So currently the VIX is sitting on support at 1681. If we don't get a bounce off 1681, I will be looking for a rally off support at 1546. Once that happens, then look for the markets to start pulling back. Now jump into the 4-hour time frame. Above current support, the VIX has resistance at 1924. If the VIX can get above that level, then look for a run to 2309. Now, in terms of the RSI, the VIX is quite oversold. Something else I would like to highlight is that the VIX is below its expected move at 1806. With that said, a bounce from these price points is highly likely. Now let's take a look at the NASDAQ QQQs. So as I've stated in my previous video, the NASDAQ is currently in overbought conditions. Based on my analysis, I'm currently looking for a pullback. Now, as of Friday's close, the NASDAQ is still overbought on the RSI, which marks its 5th day at these elevated levels. Going forward, I want you guys to keep your eyes on these support and resistance zones. Current support is going to be at 520. If that level fails to hold as support, then look for a pull down to 510. Now, if the ETF breaks below 510, then look for a further pull down to 50. Above current support at 520, you still have resistance at 530. The next stock is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. So from recent lows, Apple stock is currently up over 24%. However, the stock is currently running into resistance at 211. If Apple fails to get above 211, then look for a pull down to 197. If Apple breaks below 197, then look for a further pull down to 183. So if Apple can get above 211 and stay above it, then I'll be looking for a run to 222. Above 222, Apple's next resistance is going to be at 238. Let's now move on to ticker symbol SOFI, SOFI Technologies. So currently the stock is trying to hold on to support at $14 per share. If it fails to stay above that level, then look for a pull down to $12.34. Below $12.34, your next support is going to be at $11 per share. Now, above $14, the stock has resistance at $14.68. Overall, I do have a price target for SOFI at $15.43. The next stock is EVgo, ticker symbol EVGO. So currently the stock is holding strongly above support at $3.40. As long as the stock can stay above this level, my price targets are going to be at $4.27 and then $5.81. From current price, that's a 10 and a 50% return on investment. Now, if EVgo somehow falls back below $3.40, I want you guys to look for the stock to come down to $2.70. From current price, that's going to be a drop of almost 30%. Above current support, you have resistance at $4.27. If the stock can get above $4.27, I'm looking for that run to $5.81. Let's now move ahead to SMCI, Super Microcomputer. Current support for the stock is going to be at $44 per share. If it falls below that level, then look for the stock to come down to $41. If that level breaks, then look for a pullback to $36 per share. Now, above current support, you have resistance at $47 and at $55. If the stock can get and stay above $47, then definitely look for that run to $55 per share. From current price, that's going to be a move of 20%. Overall, I do have a price target for SMCI at $72 per share, and that's going to be a 58% move from its current price. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.